Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. As the Cloud Surfer here to do a spirituality video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content, leave a like and subscribe, and use the links down below to reach more of my content and to book a reading of natal chart or tarot with me or a personal consultation as well. And today we're talking about the word adult and what adult means, right? Because there is a difference between being wiser, between even being a grown up or knowing about life and being an adult, right? So the word adult comes from or shares origins and meanings with adulteration. And when something is or goes through the process of adulteration, it means it was changed from its original state, or it was changed. For example, let's say wine, right? Wine goes through a lot of regulations. And when somebody makes wine outside of those regulations or with more acidity, with something else or something less, you call that wine it was adulterated. That wine went through the process of adulteration. So it was changed from what it was supposed to be to a different state. So how does that apply to spirituality? Well, what is the difference? Or first place, what do we call an adult? Somebody that is more than 18 or more than 21 years of age in the US, right? Somebody that is a grown up in terms of age or their achievements in life. But that's the part where it's not really true, right? About how well you live your life, how wise you are, how well can you manage yourself and your resources. Because when you call somebody an adult, or when somebody wants to be seen as an adult, it means that they were adulterated so that they got very far away from their original state. And what is our original state? It's the spirit, right? No thing, no shape or form. An empty parameter that you sought to fulfill with your experiences. So when we say that you are an adult or you are becoming an adult, it means that you lost the access, because you still have them, but you lost the access to certain properties, to certain abilities of the spirit. We have the three big spiritual powers. We have a video on the channel talking about that, which is faith slash belief, creativity, and responsibility, right? So when you lose access or when you limit yourself within these three parameters, you become an adult. And most adults don't have these powers or they throw them away. The power of creativity, the power to believe in themselves and all possibilities. And most adults, they think they are responsible because they have a job, because they pay bills, because they have a kid, but they are not really responsible in the spiritual sense of the word because they do not recognize that their power creates all the circumstances that they are involved, so they blame life, they blame God, they blame luck. Even when they're our latest video, or one of our latest videos here on the channel, or actually it was the latest live stream, was talking about that people, even when they are successful, throw that power away. And they say it was life put me in this situation, God put me in this situation, or you did it. So you have no responsibility in that aspect. So that is in reality what an adult is. You were adulterated from your original spiritual space, but it's not bad. All right, adult, the word itself does not have a negative connotation, but most people that use that word or that want to be seen as adults are too much adulterated. You see, it's not about being an adult or being adulterated, it's about being too much adulterated. Because from the moment that you create your first mind, especially for the moment that we create a body and we start engaging in your physical experience, you should be adulterated. You should gain more physical, more realistic, more logical capabilities. And that's okay. You know why? Because you created those abilities. Everything is spiritual because everything comes from the spirit. The spirit is no thing, right? So it is okay. You must be adulterated, but not an adult. You know what I'm saying? Because especially it's very important as you grow up, right? You have more power. You have more ability to discern and know what's right, know what's wrong, especially for you, not just for the world, not just for others, but for you. So it's very important to not lose those spiritual characteristics, faith and belief, slash imagination slash creativity, and the power of responsibility, or the power to take action, or the power to believe in something else, in something better, the power to see yourself in a better place, in a better image. Because most adults that I know, that we see online, they pin themselves down, they bring themselves down, they think they can change their life, they think they can do this, they think they can do that, they are limited by physical circumstances, while they should be expanding their physical circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't need to be negative, you don't need to forget your spirit and forget your childlike essence. Because being an adult doesn't mean that you are not a child or that you are not childlike. It means that you know when to be childlike and when not to be. But most adults completely reject their childlike essence, their original state once we are born. So we have that spiritual perspective that I just talked about, and now we have the physical perspective of being an adult, right? Which is when you grow up and you get a job, you go through school, you have all of these responsibilities, so you can't afford to be childlike, right? But not most, but a lot of millionaires or a lot of successful people, they just added adult-like elements to their childlike personality or work routine. Their ideas that made them successful or a billionaire or whatever were childlike. They made no sense at first, nobody believed them at first, but they added routine, work, limits, boundaries, realism, what others want, what others need, and then they made that childlike idea successful, relatable to others. They made that idea needed and wanted. They didn't took the idea out of the way. They didn't, nah, fuck that shit. No, they took that and they transformed it. They adulterated that idea without losing the core essence of that idea or project or service or whatever, right? So don't do this to yourself. And don't think that because you are an adult you are successful. Most really successful people, they are not super rigid. They allow themselves to enjoy life. They allow themselves to be childlike. They allow themselves to not do something for an entire day because in the rest of the days they don't stop working. You know what I'm saying? So don't confuse being an adult with being successful or responsible or wise. It's not the same thing. They are correlated. Those terms are most times together. But being an adult just means that you lost or you changed some of your original abilities and properties as a spirit, spiritually speaking, or as a child, physically speaking. And you can see the parallel between child and spirit: creativity, less limits, less boundaries, curiosity, imagination, always full of energy. And most adults that I know and you know as well, maybe you are in this role, so get in a call with me, get a reading, get a personal consultation. It's not like you don't have imagination, you reject it. Or most adults are like that. They have those imaginations, they have those ideas, but they limit themselves. Even and then because they feel bad about themselves, spiritually speaking, when somebody else does that and they're expressing their imaginations, they're expressing their enthusiasm, they're expressing their energy, they're gonna cancel them or make them feel bad or make them feel ashamed or try to, because with me they can't. You know what I'm saying? So be an adult when you need to be an adult and in the right percentage level. Okay, so what not to do, right? Generally speaking, because your life is your life, your case is your case, and you have to take this information and apply to your personal case, right? So what not to do to be a bad adult, quote unquote, right? Don't limit your imagination too much, right? Motivate yourself. Go for your motivations, go for your desires, all right? Go for your responsibilities as well. That's how to be a good adult. But spiritually speaking, this is very true as well. Spiritually speaking, your biggest responsibility is to go for your dreams, to go for your passions, to go for your desires, right? Also, how to not be a bad adult, right? Give yourself the power and the time to believe in yourself, in something different, in a different scenario, right? Give wings to your creativity, even if it doesn't work in the first few times. It might take years, but eventually it will work if you keep giving it energy and power. You know what I'm saying? And how to be a good adult, or the positive of the adulteration of your original state, is you being able to use your powers more times for longer periods of time and with more impact, aka using your faith and belief, your imagination and creativity, and your responsibility more efficient. Because sometimes people think they are responsible for things that they are not responsible, or they think they are 80% responsible for something that in reality they were only 20% responsible for. You know what I'm saying? And that's it for today, guys. Being an adult does not mean that you are successful or wise, right? But that also, if you know how to be an adult, there is nothing wrong with it. But most people that I know and I've seen and I've come across that consider themselves adults, they have no spark, no imagination, a cold heart, and they pass out that to others as well. So believe in yourself, believe in all possibilities, and you'll be alright. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Use the links down below to contact me for readings and consultations. As a Cloud Surfer, surfing out.